Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out New Cat Body by Jeremy Campbell.
That's right. It is the NFL Roundtable Talks, and look at this. We have a full house tonight. Leonard will be joining us shortly. He has to get his breathing treatment in, or he won't be talking. But I'm usually not a fan of the alternate unis, but Detroit's gray with the blue helmets is awesome. Yeah. I like the black and blue better. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But
James
if the blackberries are the blueberries, I got a question for everybody here. If the blacks are the blackberries and the blues were the blueberries, are the grays the dingleberries?
Maybe.
They're the gray berries.
Oh, but J.I., yes, Lions are favored by 3 on the road, which the home team normally gets 3 out of Vegas as a norm when it's a flip 'em game. So that means the Lions are technically favored by 6.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that means?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
could give a fuck.
Say
We're
it,
gonna win anyway. It don't make a difference. So
Well, we're undefeated in the Blacks, too. We have to play the Cowboys and the refs. Well, here's something that I will say. This year, the home cooking with the refs have not been in Dallas's favor. They are averaging 12.5 penalties a game for their 2 home games and are 0-2 so far. They have won every game on the road, only committing an average of 8 penalties per game.
that's because Mahomes is paying them off. They ain't got nothing. They're not
Well,
paying them enough money.
they haven't played the Chiefs yet, so.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But at the same time, just for tonight, because Will asked for it.
Best theme song ever.
Man, Henry says, I hope
Y'all
you're
got-
doing better than the Vikings fan.
I did,
Y'all
I
gotta get,
did.
you gotta get into that.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta get into that.
Yeah, it can't just be
Join
us
the
3.
club.
Come on, guys.
Right, damn
But that
youngsters.
being said, let's talk about the news. this week.
Ralph is not the youngster, but
Oh, Ken was sick earlier. Yeah, sorry to hear that you were
Sorry,
sick.
what was that, Zilla? Yeah.
no, I was saying that nobody was dancing with us. I said all these youngsters in here don't want to dance. The old folks. I said with the exception of Ralph.
Bro, I was out. I just about threw out a hip with you, B. I'm all in it.
Dancing in my wheelchair. Here we go.
Oh yeah, man.
So Robert Salah was fired, and this one guy's trying to say it's because of the patch that he had of the Lebanese flag on his shoulder. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. What we do know is there was an argument when he went to hug Aaron Rodgers on his one touchdown play, and Aaron Rodgers basically looked at him, and I read his lips. He said, "Don't you fucking touch me."
Benchwarmer Brand made a funny clip. Dude, Benchwarmer Brand killed that skit. He's like, "You do not touch me."
So they said Aaron Rodgers said too early. It's too early. He was celebrating with one touchdown.
Let's put it this way. Aaron Rodgers got him fired. At the post-game meeting at the game they lost to Minnesota, they went in there and they were arguing. They were going across the table at each other. So, and Aaron Rodgers even basically said, I think he's a good coach. I just don't like him personally. And see, that'll get in the way. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference if he's a good coach or not. You still got the human element in there. And if he doesn't like him and he don't like him, the golden arm is going to win that argument all the time. That's why they got his ass escorted out of there, because I'm sure Salah wanted to go in there and punch him in the face. That's why he probably got escorted out of there with security.
I've got a comment.
I wouldn't blame him either. Yeah, that guy's an asshole. And I mean Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Ken should know a lot about him from Green Bay.
Absolutely, I do.
So, Ken, you still love A-Rod. Don't even lie. You wish he was still on your team.
I don't wish he was still on the team, but I wish he would have retired a Packer.
I'm going to mute everybody. Damn it. Will, what is your take?
You know what? It could have been Rodgers, but also someone's having feedback, just heads up. But it's better now. It could be the expectations. He was expected to be contending for possibly an AFC championship or a Super Bowl and win the division, and he didn't get that done. They have a solid defense. Their offense is solid, not great, but he didn't perform the expectations. But what I think is going to happen with Robert Salah, I know this is about him being fired. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to be a defensive coordinator. And you said it earlier, JB, and I couldn't agree more. If you're the Niners, call Robert Salah. Yeah, you got rid of him. But say, hey, our defense sucks this year. You had a staple. You are our staple defensive coordinator. How about you come back?
All right. So I got to get to the chat real quick before I get to Ken's take, because we've had Alvin going off in here, and I want to read some of these comments real quick. Why do the Seahawks look like trash?
Because they have a new coach.
They have a new coach. They have new everything, and I'm glad you made it out of surgery. Okay, Patty Grimes, that's great to hear. He had the pins removed from his shoulder repair.
Oof.
So that's a painful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's see. Best division in football is the NFC North, period. Yep. That is 100%. Browns spent all that money for nothing. You ain't joking. They overpaid Watson so much. That cap room needs to be massaged more than when Deshaun Watson was with the Texans. But anyways, Ken, what's your take on the Robert Salah firing?
With the comments of Rodgers and him apparently liking him personally, I think it's going to be, you can see why he ended up getting fired, because the way Woody Johnson there had come out to personally recruit him, you knew that that's his guy, that if anybody's getting moved on from, it's not going to be Rodgers that's getting the blame for it.
Right. And plus, you got to remember, just before that game, there was a falling out between Nathaniel Hackett, which is Aaron Rodgers' boy, and Robert Salah, and he stripped him of the play calling duties there in London. So I think that's part of it too.
I didn't hear that part, but I would guarantee it. For some reason, Rodgers absolutely loves Nathaniel Hackett, and I don't understand it.
But
mushroom talking.
So, what I've been hearing from the situation is that what you brought up earlier is the hug. There's actually video out there that he actually did hug him, just not when the cameras were around. So, and Rodgers may have gone on a Pat McAfee show and said he had nothing to do with it, but in reality, he probably had almost everything to do with it because Robert Salah got into a heated argument with Hackett on the sideline.
I'm going to address something that was said in the chat real quick. The 20-36 record. You know, you say what you want, but he was hired as a defensive head coach, and the one thing he did was turn that defense around. Mm-hmm. It's also indicative of a different OC every year. Every year it's been a different OC. And he went through, what was it, the first 2 years, 6 different quarterbacks that started those games? It's kind of hard to get any consistency when you have 6 different QBs playing and 3 different OCs in 3 years. But at the same time, yes, it ultimately falls on his shoulders. Bistrilla.
Yeah. James and Jay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, his record speaks for itself. I think that was going to come. His firing was going to come after this season, at least, if they didn't get into the playoffs. But I think the reason why it got speeded up was just the fact that Aaron Rodgers was the culprit of that whole situation. I don't care if he denies it. I don't care if the Jets deny it. That is the whole person. That's it. Quarterback wins over the coach, especially a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' caliber. So, you know, don't I'm not don't like the Aaron Rodgers, but you know, that's ass rod to me.
Since we look like Hollywood Squares on taking Keegan for the win. No, just kidding.
He's Atlas.
Nico's out for like 4 weeks.
What's up, Von Doom?
What's up, Leonard?
What's up?
Leonard.
What's your take, buddy?
Well, let me say this. If Aaron Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show that he didn't have anything to do with this, I have swampland in Florida for you with some alligators in it. So that's that. You know, it's the bottom line is everybody here on this panel knows, and Stevie Wonder can see it, that it was Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the bottom line right here is it was Aaron Rodgers, and you know, it's not a, you know, it's no, you know, everyone knows. I mean, you know, and the Jets have egg on their face too, Jeremy, because they had some bad drafts too. They drafted they had some horrible drafts. You know, Zach Brown. I mean, it just you know, some bad drafting, and on top of that, and if you have bad drafting, it's not going to help your team either. So
they have a bio.
All right. I just noticed Smoking Dad has entered the chat. Just for you, Leonard.
Okay, only 4 of us this time. Come on,
Ken,
guys.
stop joining.
We have to all coordinate.
Change your name so you don't know.
Oh, goodness. By the way, Will, guess what? The feedback is coming off of your end. Yeah, it is. It's feeding back off of you because guess what? It still happened a couple times when Jordan wasn't here. Normally, it's Jordan. But
we can blame Jordan.
I still have yet to finish my dinner.
You can't blame him this time.
Looks like the Brady Bunch.
Is it better?
I think you got your call volume up loud on that is what's going on.
I love it. Repeat.
97 years ago, J.I.
Good old Texas.
Yeah.
407 years ago. There we go. Let's see.
Look.
You turned it down, and now we don't get that. Captain Ken Ballrick, strongest seat in the world. On JB back in the day. All right. Mike Johnson, let's get your take on the Robert Salah firing.
So I absolutely think it has everything to do with Sam Darnold, because his first loss, was with Sam Darnold, and his last loss was Sam Darnold.
Ain't got nothing to do with Sam Darnold, man.
It has everything to do with Sam Darnold.
It does not have nothing to do with Sam Darnold, man.
I'll tell you what I do know is that the Jets couldn't win with Sam Darnold on the field, and they can't win facing against him with Sam Darnold on the field. But anyways, Ken the Bear fan, what's your take?
Well, you don't want that swampland in Florida because right now it's had about 18 tornadoes and a Cat 3 hurricane run through it. So that might not be such good enough land to give away. Now, however, if you want to give us some land up here in the Panhandle, we've been hurricane free for 2 years. Knock on. Ken, put your head forward. I need some wood.
You got one coming next week.
Yeah, I know. But no, I mean, it was Rodgers. I mean, come on. It was when the hug didn't happen and the get your hands effing off me, dude. And I was surprised I let him get on the airplane to come home from London. I mean, they
put him on the wing.
That was toxic. And I love Rodgers' comment. Well, yeah, I was like, I loved Rodgers' comment. Well, it's not that I don't like the guy, but I don't like the guy personally. What?
Hey,
I mean, come on. That
it tells you all you need to know.
Alvin, we know who you are.
Hey, that's right, Jason. You're right down the street from me. We'll have to have a hurricane party in about a week or so. That's how we roll up here in Florida.
Hey guys, I just want to pause real quick, and everybody, happy birthday, Jeremy. I wish that you have many, many more, and may God bless you with all the tidings that you need. And thank you for everything you do, and I hope your day is just as awesome as you are, brother.
Oh, man, thank you. That was touching. It really was.
Hey, even though you still look older than your dad.
Guys are so great.
All right. Now we go down to Jordan Davison. What's your take on the Robert Salah firing?
I was going to call me at the end of the year if it wasn't going to come during the season, but it's the Jets just being the Jets. I mean, they still got freaking what's his name, Nathaniel Hackett on their staff, so that tells you all you need to know.
That's part of it.
Yes, thank you, Philip Kerrigan, Alvin, all of you, J.I. I appreciate all of the birthday gestures. But you know what? It's time to talk a little football. You know who I haven't heard from yet? My co-host. I want his take on Robert Salah.
Ooh, well, my take on that. Well, Woody Johnson didn't even consult with the GM about this firing. I think it may truly actually have something to do, not even football related at all. And it may be because he put that Lebanese flag on that Jets hoodie for his press conference. Woody Johnson's been a freaking Middle Eastern diplomat for the United States forever. And that just kind of brings unwanted attention right now.
Okay.
I saw that.
He actually had it on the sideline at the game.
Yeah, in London, which is a huge political touch point in London right now. I didn't even think of it that way. That's a good take.
Jason MC, I love it. Beating Aaron Rodgers after Green Bay was like beating the Packers twice in 2 weeks.
J.I., this is my H-Town Stroud jersey also.
That is awesome. I love that Stroud jersey. But I will tell you, it's backwards because you flipped it because your background was bad the one time. I bet you your camera's mirrored again.
I don't remember how to fix that.
Oh, I didn't even see that old my buddy Von Dune's here. Oh.
Yeah.
How do I fix that?
How's my favorite Giants fan?
That looks perfect. All right. Smoking Dad says, in my opinion, unless Karen
Good.
has superb players around him, he should give it up. He's not what he once was.
And that's what I kind of alluded to.
Hey, that's a good
He's still
jersey,
retired a
dude.
Packer.
Dude,
Well, yeah.
even the stitching, I didn't even realize it until just now. It says once a giant, always a giant, right in the neck. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Did you get that from China?
Yeah, it still has the Nike tags on them.
Hell yeah! I got 3 for $25. I'm just still waiting for it to clear customs.
Hey, you know what this season reminds me of with Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going to say something I said on another show that nobody realizes. Aaron Rodgers did the same thing this season that he did the last 2 seasons with Green Bay. He didn't play in the preseason. He didn't play in the offseason. He didn't go to OTAs, and he's struggling mightily. It's the same thing he did his last 2 years with Green Bay. Starting out slow, playing like crap, losing games they shouldn't. Remember all this? Because we talked about this, Ken, when I was just a member of the huddle, not even doing this stuff with you guys. And now we're seeing the same thing again. He doesn't have that connection with his receivers. He plays favorites, and once he gets a guy that he trusts that catches a ball for a game, he'll throw to that guy exclusively.
Yeah, and the problem is he might not just be able to turn it on like he was just 3 years ago. Because I know that last season in Green Bay, you got, a decent approximation of it, but it wasn't the same old Rodgers. A lot of us put it up to him having the broken thumb damn near all year long. That's why, he looked off because of that. Might just be age.
Bro, I'm telling you right
mushrooms
now,
in a dark place. That's what it is.
I'm telling you right now, the Minnesota Vikings have already declined the contract next year for Rodgers. We got our quarterbacks. It's not going to be a repeat of Favre.
I was going to say it better not be. I don't want to see him as a division rival.
It's the first person that catches the bad ball he throws to him, and 9 times out of 10 it's Lazard, but every now and then it's Wilson, and then Wilson has a good game. And then maybe it's Breece Hall out of the backfield. Then Breece Hall has a good game. But they never seem to put it all together offensively.
Yeah, and that's the responsibility of the quarterback. If you're a quarterback that's won 2 MVPs in the last 5 years, you should be out there telling your your guys what's going on. This is wrong. This is just totally this is Aaron Rodgers' fault. They lost to Minnesota because of Aaron Rodgers. He threw 2 bad picks. Let's face it. Two bad picks in that game.
3 bad picks.
3 bad picks, whatever.
And another thing too, he had an injury, and at his age, it's hard to recover from injuries like that. I mean, it's just.
I mean,
you got to look at that as well, because he just. But his ego is so bad. It's amazing.
But I will tell you this though, and you guys know I bleed purple. If that game was Aaron Rodgers 3 years ago, we lost. Minnesota lost that game.
Right. Yeah. And you didn't have Brian Flores as your defensive coordinator either, Mike.
It's not even that, but Aaron Rodgers has lost his step. He has not recovered from this Achilles.
No, he has not.
He's not planting on that foot. He ain't pushing off. He's ginger. He's not doing everything that he's supposed to do. Aaron Rodgers is, unfortunately, he's a clip holder now. It's
not really the physical part of Aaron Rodgers, though. It's the mental part of Aaron Rodgers. I see him making mistakes that a quarterback of his caliber should not be making.
Exactly.
He doesn't know. He's not reading blitzes right. He's not calling the offensive line right. He's old. And he's taking too many mushrooms and keeps going to damn dark places.
I was just going to say that.
Leave that man alone with his mushrooms in his dark places.
Yeah, huh? I was going to say.
I am, because I'm not a Jets fan, so I don't give a damn either way.
So
I think it has more to do with him not being completely bought into the coach. And if he checks out, he's completely checked out of it. Like, you're used to seeing, even if he checks out, he's still damn good. But you know that extra level ain't there.
But I do want to say I'm going to agree with Benchwarmer Brand and his take on that whole thing. Aaron Rodgers went to Woody Johnson and said, "Why don't you just promote Nathaniel Hackett?" He goes, "You know what? I love you, and I'll drag my nuts across broken glass and 3 miles of parking lot. But there's no way in hell I'm promoting the coach that got fired midseason, just like your head coach now."
That just hurts my balls thinking about that.
I got goosebumps all over thinking about that.
I got goosebumps.
Man, you know what?
Kind of.
I couldn't believe he said it, but I was like, "Oh my god!" I could actually hear Woody Johnson saying that.
I used to gaff telephone poles, and I got a splinter in my nuts from that. And what you just said sounds so much fucking more painful.
Let's just face it, Aaron Rodgers ain't been the same since Danica Patrick broke up with him.
Well, you know, I think
he's won a couple MVPs.
Yeah,
I know why Danica left him. She came home after winning that race in NASCAR, and she goes, "Hey, Aaron, I want to try butt stuff." He bent over.
Oh,
no, it wasn't. The reason why they broke up because Danica was more man than he was.
That was just I fucking love you, bro, because I was just gonna say Aaron Rodgers was standing there taking a piss, and she said, "Move over."
All right, on to the next subject. We found out that Derek Carr suffered an oblique injury in that last game, and now he's going to miss several weeks. I mean, we know it's either going to be Spencer Rattler or Taysom Hill.
It's Rattler.
That's what
I thought. Good, because I said that allows them to do that wildcat thing still that they do with Taysom Hill, and it'll be a change of pace type of thing.
Hill will never be a starter. Hill will never be a starter in NOLA. They don't want him as a starter. They always want him as that gadget, do everything guy. That he's the second highest paid man on that roster, and that's his job, is to be the gadget that does everything. They'll never get rid of him either because the fans love him to death. They're like, Drew Brees is 1A, Hill is 1B. That's the love level. And they'll always keep it that way.
J.I., I'm going to say Rodgers isn't like being like the Rodgers of old. Through 5 games, to only have 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Normally, at this time of the year, he's already sitting close to 2,000 yards, like 16 touchdowns, and maybe 1 pick. If you compare it to his good seasons compared to his last few seasons, it's more like his last few seasons than like his MVP years.
JB, he's as old as you are. What do you expect?
Well, in NFL years, yes, he's about ready for retirement, and he probably should have retired, but he wanted to be like Tom Brady.
It's the
this is the God's honest truth.
It's the curse of the Jets, bro, because Favre did the same shit. It's that team.
I don't think it's that team. He sucked in Green Bay.
He's junk compared to what Aaron Rodgers usually is.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying.
He's a guy.
We're not saying he's probably better. He's probably better than about at least 12 or 13 quarterbacks in the league as he is right now.
Name them.
But
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Mayo boy.
Say that after Williams last week.
Motherfucker didn't even hesitate.
Levis.
He's better than Mayo.
Either one of the quarterbacks from the Raiders. Let's see.
Both of the quarterbacks that play for the Panthers.
Don't
better than Bryce
dare
Young,
fucking
better than
badmouth
Mayo boy.
Minshew.
He better than Richardson, better than Mayo boy.
Hey, Drake May started this week, Jordy.
He's better than Bryce Young and Andy Dalton combined.
Yeah.
Would that be now since Andy Dalton's
better than anybody on Miami Dolphins?
Would
right
that
now.
turn it into the light brown water pistol? Those two combined?
So, you know what, Mr. What you just said about the Dolphins there, the Dolphins baffle me. Just because they lose limp noodle freaking damaged boy freaking Tua, everything stopped. They can't run now. They can't pass. They can't play defense. Look what the hell.
They can beat the Patriots.
Yeah. Damn. That was too much laughter from you, Mike.
You should win when you
win
hold a team to 10 points.
Statistically, he's better than Brock Purdy this year, Aaron Rodgers is. And he's also way better than Deshaun Nothing.
I was to say that's another one that's he
Deshaun
might be the
Watson's
worst
the worst
quarterback.
I'm better
quarterback
than
in the
Deshaun
NFL.
Watson.
For fuck's sake, JB, I got better stats than Watson this year.
Right? I know that's
I think everybody here could come in for one play and throw a ball and have a better completion percentage than Deshaun Watson at
I'll
the
throw
end
a
of that
10-yard
game,
hitch.
with us each all
I'm done.
taking a turn, even Ralph on a
Way better.
wheelchair.
I know that's
But
right.
at the same time, so I think that's a huge blow to the Saints, and I don't think they'll be able to stay on this tremendous run they've been on. And we may see a little fall off there because now you're going to be putting in a guy that wasn't taking the first team snaps until this week, and you're going to see some growing pains with a rookie quarterback.
Man, I think Rattler's going to surprise us. I really do.
What do you
Yeah,
think,
and I
Von
thought
Doom?
freaking what the hell was his name? Desmond Ritter was going to be good. Okay, come on, let's be real.
He said Desmond Ritter.
Well, I mean, this just happened sooner than later.
I mean,
New Orleans,
he's a starting quarterback on the Giants at any given point.
You're out of your cotton-picking mind.
New Orleans started off really good.
Rattlers coming in for this week's game at the right time, though. I mean,
Derek Carr is this was just going to happen anyway, because Derek Carr was going to be Derek Carr at some point in the season. This is actually what kind of Derek Carr does. He gets hurt for a long period of time, and he's not effective. Then when he comes back from being injured, he doesn't do nothing anyway. So this is probably the last bag for Derek Carr. If Rattler comes in here and puts on a little bit of a show, he don't have to necessarily win. He just has to be decent. I think.
I think he's gonna be a mediocre quarterback. I think he's gonna keep him at 500, but he's gonna have flashes of brilliance, and I think that's a wave of their future.
Mm-hmm. Rattler's coming in at the right time, though. He's coming in against Tampa, which is a good team, but a Tampa team that isn't getting much practice this week, as we can tell, because they're getting slammed by a Cat 3 hurricane. I'm watching as we speak. So they're getting Tampa this week in NOLA, so that's actually for Rattler, that's a plus. So he has a better opportunity, at least this week, to get his feet wet, to get settled, than he would probably on a different week against a different team.
I do have something to show here. Leonard is starting to make Christmas ornaments for people, and I do have some to show here that he's working on creating and making them better. But here's the ones he's designed so far on his computer.
What's the finger doing there?
It looks like it's flipping somebody off or showing his IQ. I haven't figured that out.
You like the Panthers one there, Ken? I mean the Packers one, Ken?
Yeah.
Right there. The Vikings one's
even
pretty
got
good.
cheese in it.
The Vikings one's great, and I mean the Bears one's still good. But
it needs a better background so you can see the guy.
The Chicago Who Sox.
That's his wife.
That was my wife's.
I believe that's his
yes,
wife's.
they're real. They're the prototype ones right now are covered in resin and hardening.
Cool. Yes, those are real. How much are they going to be going for ship, Von Doom?
They're $10 a piece, $5 shipping. If you want 3 or more, it's $25 and $5 shipping.
Okay.
Hey, did I just hear Ken say that the Vikings are great?
Dude, that one's great.
No,
it is great, and
the
I like
Vikings
it.
one is great, not the Vikings.
Oh,
no, the Vikings
I could
ornament.
have swore I heard that. I'm gonna have to play this back later.
Yeah. I was gonna say you've had your ear a little too close.
You might not want to.
So let me get Will's take on Derek Carr being hurt. You're muted, sir. We can't hear you at all.
You had him turn his volume down, remember?
Sign language.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
There he is.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the next guy while you fix your sound issue. Ken Catalone, what do you think?
Rattler, I've actually heard them talking good things about him out there in New Orleans. So I don't think that it's going to be, a big deal for them moving. Besides losing your starter and having to go to the backup, but I think the team's likes him already, so it's not going to be that it's going to. Oh, we're going to lose this game because the backup's in. They like the kid, so they'll play hard for him. But on that note, I am going to hop my happy ass off. I just wanted to join you here for a little bit, JB, since it's your birthday.
I appreciate it.
Feel better, Tim.
Yeah, you have yourself a good night, man. And every one of you guys, too, have a good night.
Yeah,
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Ken, have a good night. Hope you feel better.
Hey,
All right,
Ken,
Ken.
before
You
you
have a
leave,
good night.
well, before you leave, Ken, hold on. Let me give you something you haven't seen. This way I can let JB know for Friday. Just before you leave, on Friday on the morning show, we're going to have Gabe Valamont on the show. She is running for Congress in my district. This will be non-political, though. She's coming on for football talk. It does concussion protocol, and she got her master's at Troy University, worked at Emory Sports Medicine in Atlanta, so along with the Falcons, and she's going to be on the morning show on Friday to talk about the NFL concussion protocol and CTE. So I want to throw it out there for you so you get that before you go off to bed tonight.
Sweet.
All right, sounds perfect.
Can you guys